For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, we are live and amplified. So let's get ready to podcast.
Fire it up.
Welcome, everybody, to another live and amplified livecast. I'm your host, Tom Quiet, and we are back at it again with another amazing podcast. Sorry, it's been a while since I've done one of these, so if I'm a little rusty, I apologize. I've been dealing with a lot of family health issues. I've been following the page for any amount of time. You already know what's going on, but I appreciate you guys' support and all the love that we've gotten over the last month and a half or so. But tonight, we have a very special guest. We have Erini Nomikou.
Yeah. Perfect.
Awesome. I try and pride myself on pronouncing names right. So I'm glad I was able to get it.
You got it.
So first off, thank you for joining us on the podcast. I'm really excited to sit down, chat, get to know more about you, your upbringing in Greece, and then kind of your transition over into you're in LA right now currently?
Yeah, I'm in LA right now.
And then kind of your transition over into LA and your whole musical journey. So I'm really excited to kind of get to know more about you.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm excited to meet you and talk with you.
Yeah. So first, before we kind of jump into everything, because you're currently working on your debut album. It'll be out, I'm assuming, later this year or early next year.
We're not exactly sure yet. We're hoping to finish with all the recordings in October. So probably, maybe next year, maybe when the next year comes, Gotcha. The album will be out.
Gotcha. Perfect. So before we kind of jump into all that and that whole process that you've been going through, what's kind of your background? What got you, or what's kind of your background first? Let's jump there first.
Well, so I grew up in Greece, and I don't know, I guess my mom is a ballerina. Mm-hmm. And my dad always used to play music. He loves his music. He's not a professional musician, but he would always sit with his guitar and play songs for us and all that. So I guess from a very young age, I was drawn into it. And then, I started piano classes, and then I wanted to try the guitar, and then I wanted to sing, and I was always in the school plays and like music productions or whatever. Yeah. So music has been my life.
So the piano was the first instrument you learned how to play?
Yeah.
What was it about the piano that kind of interested?
I really don't remember. We already had a piano in the house, so I guess it was the thing that I could just go to and play. Mm-hmm. And it's the first thing that I knew. So I guess I just liked it and wanted to learn it. I was so young. I don't even remember asking my parents for piano classes, but apparently I did. Mm-hmm. And then, I was their first child, so they couldn't say no.
100% understood. And so you were, I don't want to gloss over this. You were born in Greece. Mm-hmm. How long did you end up living in Greece before you decided you wanted to move?
So I lived in Greece until I graduated high school, until I was 18. And then I knew I was going to study music, and Greece is wonderful. I love my country, but the music scene is not, there is a music scene, but it's more Greek and traditional music. And I wanted to do more of like American music and pop and explore that field. Gotcha. So I had already decided that as soon as I graduate high school, I'm going to leave. And I went to the UK for 3 years, and I did my bachelor in vocal performance and songwriting.
Yes.
And after that, I decided to come to the US.
Gotcha. you kind of already knew where I was going with it. With 'cause I was to ask what the scene was kind of like in Greece. Were you already starting to dabble in playing professionally in Greece, and then before you moved, or were you just kind of playing with the idea? Yeah.
Yeah, no. No, my first band that we started, so yeah, when I was 14, I want to say, me and a couple of friends from school, we had a rock and blues band.
Nice.
And we started playing, and it was a great band. We were really good for our age, I can't lie. So we started getting booked in like bars and venues. So I was playing professionally in Greece before I decided to study music.
Gotcha. Why did you want to study music if you've already kind of been playing for a good amount of your life?
I always feel like I can learn more and grow. And because in Greece, I didn't really have music at my school, and I didn't go to music school, I always felt like it would be a great opportunity for me to be around more musicians. Gotcha. And learn more stuff. Because, when you go to music school, you don't only sing and play. Yeah. You learn theory, you learn like music business, you learn music history, and all these like little elements add to your performance and your musical knowledge and all that.
Absolutely. So is it fair to say while you were playing in Greece, you were a little bit more self-taught as far as musical abilities, and then when you went on to the UK to study music, you became more technically sound?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely grew and developed my musical skills. I mean, in Greece, I did piano until I graduated. Like until I left Greece, I still did piano. So I knew I knew theory. I knew like all the theoretical stuff because I had to do it for the piano. And I also had vocal classes in Greece, but it wasn't a full-time thing. It was after school, once or twice a week.
Yeah, understood.
Yeah.
And so then when you left Greece, you mentioned that you ended up going to BIMM in Brighton, UK. What was it about that school kind of that drew you there instead of maybe coming out to LA or going to Boston?
I had a boyfriend at the time that was in the UK. And I wasn't feeling, definitely the fact that my boyfriend was there made it easier for me to move to the UK and be closer to him. And a bunch of my friends were already in the UK as well. So it was kind of the easier way to go. Okay. I was thinking I had applied in schools in the US as well, but when the time came, I didn't want to go.
Gotcha. Makes sense. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
So growing up in Greece, playing piano and kind of having this idea that you wanted to pursue music professionally, who were some of your influences kind of growing up?
Oh my God. So many influences. That's the thing. I feel like every couple of years, my influences change. Yep. So like when I started, my dad was playing the Beatles in the house and like all these classic rock bands from the 70s and the 80s. Yeah. So I definitely have a lot of artists that have inspired me from that era. After that, I got into jazz, and I used to listen to Ella Fitzgerald and Miles Davis and all these classic jazz people, and I was so into it for a while. After that, I got really into neo soul and like more funky poppy stuff, and like Wolfpack and Snarky Puppy and Hiatus Coyote. So there's definitely not one specific artist that I'm inspired and influenced by. I think it's just a mixture of all these people that I love listening to.
Gotcha. I could definitely pick up listening to the one Mister that you have on your website, the YouTube or the YouTube video. I definitely picked up like the funk neo soul kind of feel to it. Like it just really spoke to me. It stood out to me. It was.
I'm glad you liked it.
So, but we'll get a little bit more into that and your new album coming up.
Sure.
So after you graduated, you ended up moving out to LA after that, or?
Yeah, not exactly after that. I went back to Greece for about 7 months. And then I came to LA.
Gotcha. And then, so how long have you been out in LA now?
I think it's been 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how's LA been treating you? Like, I know LA is a tough city for some people to get in, but it's very easy for a lot of people. So
yeah. No, I love the city. I love the lifestyle. It's kind of my vibe.
Yeah.
But it's definitely harder than I thought. And you really got to work and network and get out and meet people and just be in it if you want to make it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you've been out in LA now for 3 years and you've got the album that you're working on. How long have you been kind of working on this album?
So the whole process started a little bit before COVID, I want to say. And I applied. So it was through Musicians Institute, the school that I went to when I moved here.
Yeah.
And I saw this ad about a studio in Boston that's looking for rising artists. And I applied and they selected me. I don't know like how many artists applied, but I was one of the ones that got selected. So they helped me build a crowdfunding campaign.
Okay.
And we raised money and we had this whole month of organizing and reaching out to people and sending emails. It was a lot of work, but it was so much fun. And then we launched the campaign exactly a year ago, I think.
Okay. So
yeah.
So you started a little bit before COVID, and then probably about a year ago, you launched the campaign, and the campaign's been doing well, I take it?
So the campaign is over now. It went on for 2 months.
Okay.
Until we had a goal that we needed to reach. And that was like, we did that. We achieved our goal.
That's always good. Because there's a lot of projects that don't meet their goal on GoFundMe or Kickstarter or whatever platform you're using.
No, we did, and we raised even more money. And I'm able to record one extra song.
Nice.
Because everyone was so supportive and giving and helpful. I'm really glad that I can't explain like my feeling when we reached the goal, and I was like, oh my God, this is actually happening.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable.
That's awesome. Oh, so you started working on this a little over a year and a half ago. Had you been writing and had you had the idea for an album before you applied to the studio? Or
so I had go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So I had a bunch of songs that were already written. And I had already played a couple of live shows with my band and my original music, but I never had the chance to record it. So everything was ready. It was just a matter of picking out which songs would go together. And and go for it.
Awesome. What was that? What was the song selection process kind of like? Did you find that you already had everything you needed written, or did you find yourself writing more as you kind of went through the song selection process?
I did write more songs. There's 2 songs that I wrote during the process that are gonna be in the album, and then I wrote like a bunch of other songs that are not in the album, but they're new. um, but my whole idea about this album was having songs of people and of my, like, the whole album is songs that talk about people that are or have been in my life. And that's, the album's called Anthropolection. Anthropos is in Greek is people. And Anthropolection, like the other half, is collection. So it's people collection in a way.
Nice. I was going to ask you what the title of the album was, because I saw you promoted on your YouTube page, but I didn't see a title there. So no, that's awesome. And do you find that you have a lot of Greek influence in this album, or are you kind of staying more with the Americanized, like neo? Did you try and find a way to incorporate your heritage into the music, I guess is the best way to ask that question?
Not really. So the music that I write doesn't really have that Greek influence. It's more westernized American pop, funky stuff. But I do love Greek music, and I have a couple of bands that we play Greek traditional stuff in LA.
Awesome. So for the band that you're recording with currently, what is the current makeup of the band? How long have you guys been playing together? You know, that fun stuff.
So the band that I'm playing live shows with is different than the people that I'm recording with, because the studio that I record is in Boston. They have their own musicians, because otherwise we would have to pay for tickets and rooms for my band to fly to Boston and record, and that would be much more expensive than our budget. But they're all great musicians, and they get what I want this album to be, and they're very cooperative and all that. But with my band that we play live shows, I've known the guys for about 3 years because we went to the same school. And we've been playing together the last 2 years, I want to say.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So did you, for the band that you're recording with in Boston, did you have say in who you were recording with, or was it all recommendations by the studio?
It's kind of a mix. So they have their own people that they recommend, and I'm also free to recommend someone and bring them in if that's what I want. But we did the first song with Mr., the one that you heard. We did it all with their musicians. And I was really happy with what they did for that. So I was more than glad to have them for the whole album.
Let's talk about Mr., because it is one of the songs that I'm familiar with.
Yeah.
Is that going to be kind of the lead single coming off of it, or what's kind of the plan behind that song?
So we used that song for the crowdfunding campaign, just to like have a little bit of something for the people to listen to and feel like they are supporting something that's actually going to happen and something that they like. So yeah, it's probably going to be the first single that I'm going to release. And then I'm going to drop the whole album soon after that.
Awesome. And so I take it the version that's up on your website is more of a rough cut and not a finalized version?
No, it is finalized. It's not released and public yet. So only if you go to my website, you can listen to it and save the link.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Very smart though. Like I love the way you kind of did that, because I went to your YouTube page to see if I could find it, and I couldn't.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's still secret just for the ones that actually want to go and listen to it.
Awesome. So for Mr., what's kind of the story behind that song?
So that song is about a guy that I used to see all the time when I was in the UK. And we literally never exchanged a word. We never spoke, but we would see each other all the time, because I would walk home from school and I go through a skate park in my neighborhood, and he was a skater, so he was always hanging there. And we would look at each other. We had like this crazy eye contact thing going on, but we never spoke. And I saw him the last day before I left the UK, and we just said hi to each other, and that was it. And I just thought it was such a funny story. And this Mr. is kind of like how I would want it to go. Because in the song we exchange, like we have a drink together, and we hang and we talk, and it's all like happy and nice and romantic. So it's the story of how I would want it to have happened with this guy.
Gotcha. Completely understood. And are you looking at the possibility of doing like a proper music video for it, or is that like way down the line?
No, yeah. We're actually discussing this with a friend now, because he is a film editor. And we're coming with all these crazy ideas of how we're gonna shoot it. And he's a skater as well, so we want to have like skater guys in it. And I mean, my Greek crew in LA, we all skate and surf. So we kind of want to make something fun that we're going to enjoy shooting.
Nice. Anytime I hear skating and music videos, I automatically go back to the late 90s, early 2000s kind of punk scene music videos.
Yeah.
Always seem to come out. And as a video producer myself, I do like a bunch of video production and editing myself.
Nice.
It's always been one of my dreams to make a music video as kind of a throwback to that kind of era of music video.
Yeah.
It was very DIY, very, I don't want to say low quality, because that's not really what it is, but like a very feel to it.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for that right song, or the right artist, or the right act.
You'll get it. You'll find it.
No, that's really cool. So that's in the works and coming up soon. Where are you kind of at I know we talked about this before we jumped on here. Where are you kind of at in the process of creating the album?
So we have fully recorded bass, drums, and keys for all songs. I have a session for guitar next week, actually. And then we just have to finish up with the guitars. We're adding some strings and brass sections. And then it's just vocals and we're done.
Awesome. So you're going out to Boston next weekend? Is that what I'm hearing?
No, so we're doing everything through Zoom.
Okay.
And I'm just going to go to Boston to record the vocals when the time comes.
Gotcha.
But it's been really nice. I didn't expect to have such a great quality of sound through Zoom. It's not through Zoom, actually. It's this, I don't know it's a website. I'm not sure what it is. It's a platform that connects the producers, like the studio's equipment, with the console, and the sound goes in, and I get
so basically
whatever.
They've got their board and their production, their hardware to route to the computer, and you do exactly what they're
exactly hearing. Yeah,
that's awesome.
It's really good. It's great.
Perfect. It's amazing where technology has gotten us. It's crazy. like a year and a half ago, I would have never thought that I would be doing interviews over Zoom. And now you can do like full productions over Zoom, which
exactly.
So
It's crazy.
yeah. So outside of music, it seems like music's kind of been taking over your life over the last couple of years. What are some of the things that you like to do to kind of get away from everything?
Surf, skate,
Yes.
eat. So yeah, if I'm not doing music, I'm probably surfing or skating, and then we always cook with my friends like after.
Is surfing something that you picked up in California, or were you always doing that even in Greece?
I started before I moved to California. So like, I think 4 or 5 months before I moved here, I started surfing in Greece.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I got to LA, it was everywhere. So I got much better because in Greece it's not constant.
You started learning in Greece, and then you moved to LA, and you just totally embraced the lifestyle.
Yeah.
And then is it kind of the same thing for skating, or have you been skating for a lot longer?
No, I started skating after I moved to LA.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Now, are you talking skateboarding or roller skating?
Skateboarding.
Okay. That seems like a very LA thing to do. Like
it is very LA.
Right. That's so like, I mean, not to go down a rabbit hole here, but I kind of feel like that's where skateboarding really got popular.
Yeah, it did. It's true. You know, Dogtown and everything.
Yep.
Yep.
Watch that movie probably about once a month, either the documentary about them or the movie. It just kind of depends on what I'm feeling.
But that's funny because that's a funny story, actually, because when I started surfing, I started hanging with all these surfer dudes, whatever.
Yeah.
And they had a party. They threw a party one night that was kind of a secret event.
Yeah.
So I was at my house one day and I received a message and was like, watch the movie and send me a text at 9 p.m. for the location. Okay. And it was Dogtown. The movie was Dogtown. And I watched the movie. I was like, okay, what does that even mean? Like, is the party going to be like in a pool or what's happening? And then I get the address and it's in the middle of this field that there's nothing in it. And I walk there and there's a light at the end of it. And there's a skate ramp and like a little floating, like a floatable pool with drinks in it.
Nice.
And it was such a cool way to like make people come to a party.
Nice. I thought you were going to say it was going to be at the old Zephyr shop, and it was going to be there. So that's awesome. And then, so that's kind of your escape from music. But it's very funny how skateboarding and music kind of intertwine as well, because like you associate skateboarding a lot with a lot of music. And then of course you brought up cooking. What kind of dishes do you like to prepare or make?
So I'm not the one that cooks. I'm the one that helps with the cooking.
Gotcha.
But I love to help. And so one of our friends is obsessed with MasterChef. So we just try out all these crazy recipes from MasterChef. And then she had she was going through a phase that she loved Asian food. So we would try to make like all these Asian dishes. You know, it depends on the period and what the mood is. We have different cuisines that we try out.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I mean, I think everybody kind of goes through that where it's like, hey, I'm not feeling Asian tonight. I'm feeling tacos.
Yeah.
But I mean, everybody's always feeling tacos. So
yeah, exactly.
Oh, no.
Awesome. You have to try the Greek tacos that we make. Maybe if you come to LA, we'll make you Greek tacos.
Okay, please explain.
So it's not something crazy. You make the minced meat that you make for bolognese, basically.
Yes.
And then you just add yogurt and avocado and Greek cheese or whatever, and it's Greek.
Nice. Actually, that sounds like something I had once. I'm no.
It's not too different from like Mexican food. It's just that you use Greek ingredients and
cheese.
Greeks cook it.
Gotcha. Being that you're from Greece, and I grew up on the south side of Chicago, and there was a Greek deli that my father and I used to go to. Or not a Greek deli, a Greek grill. Like it was like a grill type thing.
Yeah.
Is it pronounced gyro, gyro, or gyro? Or
gyro.
What's that?
It's gyro.
Gyro, okay.
Yeah.
Because I've heard it pronounced all three ways, and I never know. So
no, the correct one is gyros.
Okay. That's how my grandpa used to pronounce it, so that's kind of funny.
Nice.
So no, I grew up eating gyros like every Sunday morning when we'd go out for breakfast. It'd be gyros and eggs and like
it's good, right?
Oh yeah. Oh, I love it. I'm in Waco, Texas right now, and I cannot find a good Greek spot to get gyros. Every place I go, it's like pre-made, but I grew up in an area where they'd have like the whole rack of, because what is it?
Lamb? The lamb, yeah.
Then they'd like have the whole rack of lamb right there, and they just carve it off right there. It's fresh. It's perfect.
Yeah, they were doing it the right way.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I had a difficult time finding a good gyro place in LA as well.
Yeah. So. In fact, I'm always trying to expand my palate. Given that I eat gyros, is there anything else in the Greek kind of food palette that I should try?
Have you tried moussaka?
I've heard of it. I've never tried it.
You should. You should definitely try it. It's great.
What is it exactly?
So it's like lasagna. But with no pasta, with vegetables. So it's potato, eggplant, minced meat, and like the bechamel and cheese.
Gotcha.
And then there's different combinations of vegetables, I think, that you can put. But I think the original one is eggplant, potato, and minced meat.
Gotcha. I will have to try that.
Yeah, it's really good.
Nice. Awesome. I'm still like, I don't really trust anything in Waco because I haven't even found a place that could make a good gyro sandwich.
Yeah.
So, but actually, you know what's funny is there was a place that I went to in New Mexico. It was a Greek and Mexican restaurant combo. Like they sold Greek food, they sold Mexican food. I'm not 100% sure that they were making the gyros right because I couldn't quite see back into their kitchen, but the food was amazing. Like their gyro sandwich was amazing.
That's what counts.
Yeah.
In the end.
Yeah, in the end. And then they had they served it with French fries, but they had like some kind of a Greek seasoning. It wasn't just salt. It was like some seasoning on it. It was just like, yo, whatever you guys are doing, it's perfect. Yeah. Which is kind of funny because you don't associate New Mexico with Greek
food.
Yeah. And then you go to this place that serves Greek and Mexican food, and it's just kind of like crazy. We'll see what we get here. So
that's amazing. What's the place called? I might go if I'm in New Mexico.
Well, let me look it up now because
when I went to New Mexico 2 years ago, we just had Mexican food.
Gotcha. Where'd you go in New Mexico?
Oh, Santa Fe.
Okay, Santa Fe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Let's see. All right, it was called Caesars.
Caesars, okay.
Which
note that.
Yeah. Which is kind of a interesting name for it, but
it's not Mexican or Greek.
Yeah. Yep. Nope. This is definitely it because it's got Greek color palette on one side, Mexican color palette on the other.
Awesome. I'll check it out.
Yeah. So, but yeah, No, it's always fun when I get the opportunity to talk about food. It's always fun to do.
Yeah.
It's my favorite thing to do, eat.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
What's your favorite food to partake and eat?
Ooh, that's a hard question. So actually, if you go to a Greek taverna,
Mhm.
it's mostly seafood and finger food, but it's so good. And you just get so many dishes and you share with everyone. And it's the best thing ever. So that's definitely my favorite thing to like if you're sharing food and you're with your friends hanging, definitely a Greek taverna is the best thing to do.
Nice. I will have to give that a try. Like I'm learning so much tonight. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love it. So kind of obviously you're working towards the album, you're finishing it up. As the pandemic kind of hopefully goes away, but see what
Hopefully.
happens. And as you finish up your album, what's kind of the plan moving forward?
The plan is to promote the album and put it out there, have as many people as possible listening to it, and also playing live. I hope I can possibly tour one day.
Yeah.
I just want to play music and share the love, you know?
Yeah, I feel you. When there isn't a global pandemic going on, how often are you usually playing live shows, or how often do you get out to play?
So I have a couple of projects that I'm playing with. And even now that things just started to open up, I definitely have like 2 or 3 shows per month. Which is not a lot, but compared to nothing that was before 3 months ago, it's a start.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but you know, things are opening up and we're starting to get booked more. So I hope that this number is going to increase.
Yeah. You know, it's one of those things because you kind of run this delicate balance of oversaturating yourself. But I have a feeling like out in LA, because LA is such a big city itself, and then you've got all the like suburbs surrounding cities, that you could probably play pretty consistently.
Yeah.
Never really saturate the market unless you're playing 7 days a week for 3 years straight, and leaving the Southern California region, then you might oversaturate yourself. But
yeah, I agree.
Where's a kind of a dream place that you want to travel to play music?
I really don't know. I definitely want to travel around Europe and play music. Definitely around the United States. I think those two are the two main continents that I want to tour.
Gotcha. Since you've moved to the US, have you had an opportunity, or other than LA and I'm guessing Boston, have you had an opportunity to kind of travel anywhere, or?
Yeah, so we did a huge road trip with a couple of friends before maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And we drove from Pennsylvania to LA.
Okay, and that's where Santa Fe comes in. That's right. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and we saw all like most of the states around there, but we didn't go through Route 69. We went all the way down to New Orleans, and then drove through Texas, New Mexico, Arizona.
Actually, because I kind of know the route you took, because I take that route all the time when I go down to my dad.
Yeah.
That southern Louisiana where you're going through the swamp, if you at the right time, it is absolutely beautiful. Like whether it's like sun up or sundown, it's perfect, depending on which way you're traveling, obviously.
I think we were driving during the night, so we didn't really see it.
Yeah.
I've heard that it's
first time too. So
yeah, I've heard that it's beautiful, and it's definitely what I want to do next time I'm around there.
Yeah, it's awesome. Did you stop in Roswell, New Mexico? Did you visit the aliens?
No,
No,
we didn't. We didn't have a lot of time because I had to come back to LA for classes. So we didn't stop to a lot of places that we wanted to.
Gotcha. Yeah,
but we got to see a lot of other wonderful spots.
Yeah. Santa Fe is amazing. Like just stopping in Santa Fe.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then from there, I'm assuming you probably just went straight to LA, or did you stop in Arizona?
Yeah, we stopped in Arizona as well. We went to Phoenix for a night, and we went to the Grand Canyon as well.
Nice.
And I feel like I can't remember if there was another place that we went to in Arizona. Never mind. Yeah.
Yeah. The Grand Canyon and Phoenix are usually the two places that people will go to.
Yeah. Oh, we stayed at, what's that village called? It's near the Grand Canyon. I think it's a skiing resort as well.
Not Lake Tahoe.
No. I can't remember. My brain's not working.
It's all good. But so basically you traveled from Pennsylvania south and then came back to LA.
Yeah.
That's actually a really cool way. I've dreamt of doing something like that. Like the craziest trip I've made was from Tallahassee, Florida, which is right there in the Panhandle, and drove to northern Montana.
Okay, that's not bad.
That was and I also kind of took a detour because I went out to Roswell, New Mexico, because I had some friends out there. So it was like Tallahassee to Roswell, and then we went up to Montana. That was
nice. Sounds nice.
A trip, long trip. So, no, that's really cool. So, if anybody wants to kind of support you or follow you on social media or kind of keep track of the release of your upcoming album, where's the best place for them to do that?
You can find my website. It's my name spelled ERININOMIKOU.com. Or Instagram, same spelling. Everything is with my name. Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. But my website, I think it's the most up to date. And you'll find everything there.
Awesome. What's been your, as far as like social media and kind of promoting the fundraising aspect and then the upcoming album release, where do you kind of find your social media habits? Do you prefer Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube?
Instagram and Facebook. I want to say Instagram is definitely more of an everyday habit. But when it comes to like bigger announcements, I use a lot of Facebook as well.
Gotcha.
I don't have Twitter. I never had, so I have no idea how it's used. But Instagram and Facebook, I think it's good enough.
Gotcha. Yeah, I have a Twitter, but it was I don't really post anything too professional. It's usually me yelling at the baseball team that I follow for doing stupid. So, it's one of those things.
Yeah, my parents also have Twitter accounts, and I think it's just them commenting on stupid Greek TV stuff and just so random.
To sidetrack, I just clicked on your Facebook page and I was kind of scrolling through, and we were talking about Lords of Dogtown, and I just watched the video of you trying to mimic one of the board slides that they do in the
yeah.
It's amazing. I love it so much. Do you post a lot of videos of you skateboarding and stuff like that, or was that just like a one-off thing?
Not too many. I do post once a while a picture or a video of me skating or surfing, but it's mostly music stuff.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
But I think that's something, like, to kind of stay on the social media thing. I think that's kind of what connects musicians to their fans, is that they see that you're an actual person with other interests and other skill sets. That it's like, so you got a person in, let's say, Boise, Idaho, that's following and listening to your music, who happens to skate, and they see that you skate, and there's always that interconnectivity. So
definitely.
It like, as much as social media is social media is an interesting beast, and I think people kind of connect to that authenticity when you post something that you're really that you're really into. So
yeah, I agree. And I was always in between, like, should I have a page just for my music and then like have another page that's going to be my life and my personal stuff, or should I just blend both? Yep. And I was like, fuck it, this is who I am. Yep. This is what I like to do, and this also reflects to my music, so I might as well show the world that this is me.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So you actually go to skate parks, and are you doing like outside the board slide and stuff that I saw, are you doing like actual tricks, or what kind of?
I'm trying to, so I'm not great at street skating. I do more of bowls and, snake runs and half pipes and all that. Gotcha. But I'm trying to learn more street skating tricks.
Nice. I'm gonna have to send this to my audio engineer, because he grew up in a suburb outside of Boston, and he used to skate all the time. So
no way.
Yeah. So it's and then he got injured, I believe. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah.
Well,
so, no,
yeah.
that's really cool.
That's the thing with skating. If you really want to learn and progress, you're gonna eat shit.
Yeah, oh yeah, you're gonna really get injured. So
yeah.
100%. But once again, I want to thank you so much for jumping on the podcast. I really enjoyed talking to you. I didn't, when I was doing my research, I didn't pick up on the skateboarding thing. I don't know why, but
don't worry about it. It's fine.
But no, it's really awesome. I'm glad we got this opportunity to sit down and chat.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad I chatted with you. I had a really good time.
Thank you. And I'm really excited to listen to the rest of the album.
Yeah.
But until then, I will continue to listen to Mr. and put it on my YouTube playlist and all that fun stuff.
Awesome.
But before we leave, what's your social media handles one more time?
It's ERININOMIKOU.
Awesome. Well, once again, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and we will catch you.
Thank you.
Cool. We are good.
Sweet.